What's going on, everybody? Mahai back at with another video, and today I've got a fun TownHall 13 attack strategy for you guys. And I've got to say, I was messing around with this, and I even used it in war. This might be my favorite new attack strategy in the entire game for any TownHall. It is so fun. It is really spammy. As you see, we've got 6 ice golems with 15 witches, and then we're bringing 13 bat spells. And you might be thinking, how does that work? I don't know, but it does. So for equipments, we're running basically just what I have, because like I said, this is an alternate account for me, so I don't play on it much, so I don't have all the equipment, and I don't have it that high level either. So I'm using the rocket spear with the seeking shield, but it would be better obviously if you had like Electro boots, or you could use rocket spear with anything else really. It's just up to you, whatever you have, because like I said, at TownHall 13 not everyone has everything, so just use what you have. I'm using Earthquake boots, Giant Gauntlet on the King. Again, doesn't synergize that well. Earthquake boots, Spiky Ball would be better, but I don't have it. Eternal Tome, Rage Gem on the Warden, and then I'm using the Healer Puppet and the Giant Arrow on the Queen. Again, the Giant Arrow is not that useful. If you have Magic Mirror or the action figure, I would definitely use that instead. But like I said, just using what I have. So I'm going to get into a friendly challenge first and show you guys how this works, and then we'll get into some war attacks. Alright, I lied. So apparently all my bases for friendly challenges are locked. So I'm just going to do a quick drawing what we're going to do here. We're going to come in from the Eagle side. We're literally just going to spam everything in a line here. Get the log launcher down, targeting into the core, and then you're going to delay your Royal Champion and your bat spells a little bit, and you're going to spam them in, and you're going to try to catch as many bats in your Eternal Tome as possible, and they're just going to shred through the base. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to spread out our ice golems first, spam all of our witches in a line, we'll wall break in, get our warden down to get that rage vial working, then we'll get our log launcher in. I'm going to get my queen in so I can shoot my giant arrow at something. That was horrible. Like I said, the giant arrow doesn't make much sense with this attack, but I just don't have anything else. So now I'm just going to wait, delay the Royal Champion and the bats a little bit until your stuff gets into the base, because you want to be able to catch your bats in the Eternal Tome in the core of the base so they can get protected from multi-infernos and stuff like that. So we're going to send them in now. We're going to let a bunch of them start spawning. I'm actually going to pop my log launcher now so I can catch my yetis in the warden ability. And look at this. Look how many bats we have pushing into the core, and they're protected from the Eternal Tome. I'm going to use the Rocket Spear on my Royal Champion. This base stands no chance. It's just shredded in the blink of an eye. It's going to be like a 1-minute 3-star too. It's actually insane. This was a pretty decent base too. Obviously there was no Clan Castle troops, but that's not going to be that much of an issue. You can even use the Rocket Spear to take out Clan Castle troops because it does do splash damage. Look how crazy this is. Just shreds the base. We have so many witches alive on each side as well. And it just does a good job protecting your heroes because there's so much distraction. Simple 3-star. Even against multi-infernos, it hasn't been a problem for me because that warden ability just lets your bats shred through them while they're protected. So I'm going to go show you my war attacks now. Alright, into our first war attack. As you see, it's 3 multi-infernos. It's pretty low-level walls, but other than that, the base is pretty good. But this... I want to show you this because look, we got scatter shots, we got 3 multi-infernos, so you would think this wouldn't work because there's a lot of splash damage on the base, and we're using all these little, small, squishy troops, but I'll show you, it works just fine. You just need to get your bats in your warden ability, and it'll shred through. And also, you have all these ice golems, so it does a good job of helping freeze stuff up as well. So we spam everything in now. We're kind of getting a weird split, so we use it now, and we get a massive wave of bats in our warden ability. And they're going to push through the core, do a lot of work. The multi-infernos are getting completely overwhelmed. They survived through the multi-inferno on the left. Unfortunately, they do die to the scatter shot. But it's not even going to matter now because we're going to have tons of witches and ice golems still to protect all of our heroes. And our heroes can surge through the backside of the base. Absolutely no problem. Even if your bats don't get huge value, which on this one it didn't get that much because I was a little early on my warden ability, admittedly. But we're still going to shred through this base, and it's going to be absolutely no problem. Because now there's really not that much damage left for our heroes. Our queen's going to go down, but we still have our king's ability. And look how many witches we have up here with our 2 yetis still from our log launcher. Under the rage vial from the warden, and we also got a healer there as well, which will help keep them healed up. I'm going to use the king ability just to open this wall. I don't think he was going to walk close enough to that town hall to end up hitting it anyway, but it's not going to matter. We're going to completely overwhelm this town hall and multi-inferno on the backside of the base. It's going to be no problem whatsoever. Multi-inferno goes down. Look how many skeletons from these witches we have. King walks onto the town hall. Our yetis are going to stay alive. Your yetis do a pretty good job surviving in this attack as well, just because there's so many skeletons to keep everything distracted. Army camp goes down. Cannon gonna get absolutely swarmed, and another nice crushing 3-star. So I actually used it in another war attack as well, and I'm gonna catch you guys there. All right, on to the second war attack. Again, not the highest level walls, but we do have 2 multi-infernos and a single inferno this time. We're just going to come in from the opposite side, spread everything out all across this entire side of the base, shoot our giant arrow through. Actually got some stuff there. I think we just got like an air sweeper, and I don't know what else that took out, but maybe, oh, it looks like a bomb tower actually, because it's got that scorch mark from the bomb. So we're going to send everything in, delay, again, our bats here for a little bit, because we need to try to push them through these multi-infernos. So we're going to send them in now with the Royal Champion. We're going to let them build up into a big pack. We're going to use our ability now. As you see, it protected a bunch of them. The multi-infernos get absolutely shredded. And the Town Hall is going to take a lot of them out now, but they're going to do such a good job of distracting everything else. It's not going to matter, and the Town Hall can only target so many things at once anyway, so these bats are actually going to stay alive. That Wizard Tower is probably going to take out this big pack up here, but they're getting so much value. There's basically no defenses left in the base now. There's 2 Wizard Towers, and that's it. We have tons of witches at the bottom. We have all of our heroes still completely full health. We still have our healers alive. We still have a Yeti alive from the log launcher. That base was absolutely overkilled. So let's go hop into another multiplayer attack now. All right, into a multiplayer attack here. This is a pretty good base, but this one has 2 singles and 1 multi. If you can identify bases that have single target infernos, like for war and stuff, this army is really going to be overpowered. It still works, obviously, as I've showed you, against multi-infernos, but against single infernos, it's completely unstoppable. There's no way you could possibly fail it. So we're going to let everything push into the core hero ways. Then we're going to start dropping in all of our bat spells. Bat spells going down in a line now. You want to spread them out a little bit, not drop them all on one tile, because you don't want them to all go to the same defense in case they go a weird direction. Letting them build up here. Going to pop the Warden ability now. Look how many bats are going to be invincible from this Warden ability. And again, it's still going to work after the Eternal Tome rework too, because everything that stays in the radius will still get that effect. It'll just lose it when they leave it. So it's really no big deal. So it actually might even be better, because all your bats that keep flying in from behind are going to fly into that Eternal Tome and be invulnerable when they're in there. So it might even be better for this attack, for those of you who are wondering how this will work after the Eternal Tome rework. Because just think about it, you got them constantly spawning behind, and they're going to be flying into the Eternal Tome and then being invincible once they get into that tome. And they're still invincible for a second after they leave the tome as well. So I think it might even be better, to be completely honest. But let's go get into one more attack. All right, into our final attack. We're just going to come in from this bottom side down here. Again, just spread everything out in a huge line. Just take out this entire side of the base. We get our log launcher in. Gonna let that push through. Once that eagle goes down, look at this. 3 single target infernos. It's gonna be over for this base. Our witches are completely wrecking that minion prince at the bottom. Our king unfortunately wandered to the outside, so I'm not gonna get much value out of his earthquake boots. So I kind of dropped my bats a little bit differently here, because my king is pulling my ward in that direction. So I wanted to make sure my bats were actually gonna be in the Eternal Tome. We hit the Eternal Tome now. We get a pretty good wave of bats in there. We got a good spread on troops too. We still have an ice golem at the bottom with a ton of witches and our queen. We got some witches in the core with our yetis and our Royal Champion. Yeah, everything's going to get shredded. Look at these bats tearing through the single infernos, tearing through the air defenses. There's no splash damage really left except for 1 wizard tower. So they're going to be able to get every defense on the base except for maybe that wizard tower. The wizard tower might kill them, but it's not going to be hard for 15 witches and all my heroes to push through 1 wizard tower. Check that out. Just completely overkilled, and it's really fast too. I'm getting 3 stars in like a minute with this. We fit a lot of attacks into this video because they're just so fast. This is, like I said, probably my new favorite attack strategy in the entire game for any Town Hall level. And I haven't yet tested it on any Town Hall other than 13. I know for sure it'll work on anything under 13, but I'm going to have to test it out on 14 and above to see if it's effective. Probably wouldn't really work at Town Hall 17 because there's just so much splash damage, but it'll definitely work at the lower Town Hall levels. So let me know in the comments if you guys use this, how it works out for you guys. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed this video. I'll catch you guys next time.